Mystic Bayous features the team of Bayou Spirits. In this episode, we show how this paranormal team investigates their clients' events.
My name is Callie Abraham. I am the owner and lead investigator of Bayou Spirits Paranormal Group. We've been around professionally about 15 years. I've been doing this longer. It started out with just 3 people, myself, my daughter-in-law, and my daughter. And we eventually became into what now is a very larger group. And we go around basically helping people, especially if they feel like there's some sort of entity or spirit inside their home. Then we go on in and we give them the confirmation, or we help them to maybe even find a scientific reason for why things are going on in their house. We have 4 infrared cameras. These cameras can not only see during the night, but they can also see during the day. They pick up orbs, they pick up movement, they pick up anything out of the ordinary that might be going on that we don't see with our inner eye. Okay, this one, they said the child actually saw something and they heard a voice, and it was a female voice say, "Hey, here."
Okay.
So that's why we're interested in getting this. Okay. Another thing that we do is we have the EMFs, or they also call them K2s, on most of the paranormal shows. These measure the EMF, which is radio waves, any kind of invisible waves that are going in an area, it picks it up. And the stronger the EMF, the more the red light will show on your meter. If there's nothing going on, it's going to be green. So it goes from a green all the way to a red. And what we do is we try to use this as a communication tool.
Okay. Thank you.
We ask yes/no questions. We see if we can get them excited. We see if we can get that green light to move to go to another. Because when you get something that responds back to you, and it's not just a random just go, then you know something is trying to communicate with you. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to see if we are in contact with an intelligent spirit, or are we in contact with a residual. A residual spirit is a spirit that left a whole bunch of energy when they passed, and it's still there, but they can't answer questions with you. They basically just appear and disappear, and their energy is there. So when we go in to do an investigation, we bring our EMF readers. We bring, of course, the tape recorders, because that's what you see all about the EVPs, electronic voice phenomena. Now, this is actually something that has been used for quite a while. Actually, I think in 1972, a psychologist came up with it. A parapsychologist came up with it. And what he noticed is that spirits emit a voice, but it's not one that we can hear, but the tape recorder will pick it up. So what we've noticed, and these investigations that we've seen, is that we will get either gasps saying, "No, help me." They'll answer direct questions, like we asked one time a last name, and we got Mel. So these things, you can hear them. And then what we do during every investigation, at the very beginning, we say our names out loud so that everybody knows our voice. We don't whisper, because that's one of the things they end up doing. The spirit seems to gasp. Sometimes we get a really good voice that we don't hear, and that's what's amazing. You've never heard them say anything, but it's on the tape recorder. So these EVPs are just incredible. I think that's one of the best parts of evidence that we can get. We also use infrared temperature gauges, and they use this, home inspectors use for insulation, to check the house, to see where areas of cold drafts are. Well, we use it, we go into every room and we check the temperature. We check the readings in that room, and we make sure there's no fluctuation, because we want everything to be scientific. We want to find the truth. We want to debunk anything that, let's say, especially if we go to the meters and we check with the EMF, we put it towards the meter. And if that meter is going off to red, there's something wrong with that electrical box. There's some sort of electrical problem. So we tell them right away, call an electrician, get it checked out. When you get that done, we'll come back.
One of our procedures that we do is we check for all the electronics in the house and try to measure electromagnetic fields, or EMFs. And sometimes this gives off high enough energy so that the spirits can draw down from them. And as you can see, that's pretty high. It's pegged out. So if a spirit is around and has that kind of energy,
we can unplug that one. That's
yeah,
let's do
we
that.
will.
Let's
You
look
know,
at that one.
but it goes to show you that some of them, there's nothing going on, but that one for sure.
And Joey, I'm going to go put a tape recorder
It's real.
and start it in camera 1 room, which is the kids' room, right?
See, Tim, I wanted to show you this with this outlet. That's something that, would need to be checked out, because if that gets fixed, then you may not have the energy there to have them manifest here.
But we also let them know what EMF rays and continually getting these waves in your body can do. It can cause hallucinations. It can cause your equilibrium be off, dizzy spells, all kind of things with prolonged use of that high voltage of electricity. So we make sure we get all that out before we do an investigation, so that we are on solid ground, and there's going to be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is going to be very, very, and I have a background of 37 years teaching, and also as a national board science teacher, so I'm very scientific. Everything I want to make sure that this is really legit. This is going on. This is happening. We also make sure there are cameras always in the rooms. In each room that we also are filming, we put a whole bunch of EMF readers, because we have noticed also that if a ghost is traveling, if someone tells us that an entity or a spirit is following them around like a hallway all the time, we like to put 4 or 5 EMF readers, so about 12 inches apart, so that if it does walk down that hall, those EMF readers are going to go off like crazy. So it's kind of like validating what they've seen, making them feel that, hey, you are correct. There is something going on here, And a lot of our clients, that's what they want. They want somebody to be able to tell them that, hey, look, it's not just my imagination. There is something in there. There's something going on. So basically, that's what we do. I have a team. One of our main things is we have a command center, and in the command center we have a big screen, computer monitor that's about almost 36 inches long, and it's divided into 4. So the person who is at the command station can monitor the 4 cameras at all times. They have a walkie-talkie, and they let us know if they see any activity around us that we might not be seeing, because remember, orbs, a lot of orbs are seen on infrared cameras or cameras. They're not seen with the naked eye. So they can let us know if in the background they see this blue light streaking across, or this orb that seems to be going around our heads, or anything that we can't see. They let us know, so that way we can kind of like start maybe asking more questions of what we were just asking, getting some sort of more movement. Another thing they do at the command station is they have a notebook, and in that notebook they write down every time they see something that looks suspicious or out of the ordinary, they place it on there. So what happens is after is that we review all video footage, and we check what they have notated, especially those are the parts we check especially, and if it is something of importance, we clip it so we can give our client a flash drive, which we download EVPs, we download video, everything that we have found. I sit down with my client, we go through it, and then all my notes, everything, and then that way it either solidifies what's going on or lets them know, well, we didn't find anything, but if you want us to come back, well, we can always come back. Another thing we also do make the client do is we make them notate when certain things happen. The minute they call us up, before we go do, we say, okay, can you start jotting down? Because if we see a pattern, that's when we try to go during that pattern time to help them out, to see, oh look, it's active there. We also like our clients present when we do an investigation. We think it's important because if it's communicating with the client, then we want them there. They feel comfortable with that person. Eventually, after a few minutes, they get comfortable with us. I think we have so much, I know I have so much energy and a personality that they seem to cling to that. They like that energy. They like anybody with personality, humor. They like you to be excited. So they come out more, I find, when that goes on. My team consists of My mother, Sherry Abear, she's will make 88 years old in May 2nd, so in a few days she will be 88 years old. She's very, very sharp, keen eyes. She speaks fluent Cajun French. So if we ever come across an entity, because we do speak French, we kind of try to, we say words like couillon, you know, couillon means kind of like stupid, tête de means hard head, you know, we say comment ça va, like how you doing, because that's the French comment ça va, you know, there's other French that they say, you know, it's not Cajun French, and that's something that if any old person you go to and you say, comment ça va down here, they know exactly, très bien, or, you know, they'll say, oh yeah, I'm doing well, or oh, I'm not feeling so good, you know. So it's trying to pull out, because a lot of our French, there is Spanish down here, there's all kind of people, so we want to try to see. And if ever on our recordings we get something French, she's able to right away tell us exactly what they're saying, so we can eventually come back and respond back to them. Another person I have is Stacy Abear. She is my sister. She's actually one of my younger sisters. I have 6 siblings. She was working at the command station. Now she's actually an investigator, and she's got very good question techniques. We have a lot of personality, and together she also gets what I call is feelings, senses when things are around. Our Cajun calls it frissons, which is like chills you get, and it's you wear, you know, your hair and your little bumps rise all over your arms and sometimes even your legs. You know, that's how much it does, and that kind of gives us a feeling that something's there. You know, I know I have been experiencing this since I was little, hearing things, especially, you know, seeing things, picking up on things. My mama, my great grandma was a traiteur, you know, treater. So there's definitely something in our family. And, you know, I don't call it ESP, I don't call it empathy person, nothing like that. I just say it's a gift. And I use my gift for the good. Another thing is, too, when we go into an investigation, everything's free of charge for that person. They don't put out anything. We bring everything. We want to be there for them, and that's what we do. We're there to find out. We want to know. You know, we enjoy what we do. Another person on my team is Joey Abear. And yes, another Abear. We are not related, but probably far on down the line, I bet you we are. He has been with me since I did classes at Nicholls State University. I did many paranormal investigative classes at night, and it was a 3-day course, and that a lot of people came. He was one of my people that came, and we developed a bond, and he was just awesome, and he is really good. He is one of my lead investigators, also one of my caseworkers. A caseworker is the person that goes and tries to find us places to go. You know, they contact that person, they find out, is this legit? You know what I mean? Are they really the person that needs help? Is this something that we really want to do? And he's on it. He found this actually a really good location I'm talk about later on this evening. Another person that I have that's been with me quite a long while is Jamie Duplantis Foray. And she also was in one of my classes at Nicholls. And I picked her up, and she's a true gem. Her spirit is, spirits just go to her. And I actually have footage of when we went to, and I can't say this, Darmon Plantation. We were walking through, and there was actually an angel spirit-looking thing that appeared following right behind her. And it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And like I said, it is captured on footage. And Jamie, I say it's a little angel. So she is definitely has a strong personality. She's very soft-spoken. She's not like us Bears with our strong voice. And I think that, you know, that's another thing, that sometimes the spirits, the entities, they want somebody with a strong personality. Sometimes they want somebody who's laid back, calm, and just lets them in. And Jamie's that person. Okay. Then we have Bruce Bear, who's a professional coach. He's been with us quite a while too, because he's Joey's brother. So we all have this interconnection thing. Bruce is out there, man. He asks some really questions that, you know, I wouldn't even think about asking, that could maybe activate the spirits and get them, you know, like thinking or are giving us some sort of response. So throughout the investigations, you're going to see, you're going to be able to hear the type of questions that we ask, and then you're going to see how our different personalities come out. And so, I mean, you'll find and see how the spirits interact and who they do. And the minute we find out they're interacting with one special person, we make sure that person is more active in the investigation, in where we're talking, because we don't want anybody to hog the limelight. I mean, we want the person that can get the most out of that spirit to be there. I have my brother Al Abair. He's my baby brother. He's also my godchild. I'm his nanny, so he calls me Nanan, and that's very, very French with the godmother and all. He's about 6 feet tall. He owns many businesses. One is the Swamp, Bella Construction. So he's got a lot of things that he does, but he's always been spiritually inclined also. He's seen a lot of things, especially in the house that we grew up in, which happens now to be a funeral home. So it goes to show you that some things are meant to be, because definitely that needed to be a funeral home. So they also have my little sister Paige, that's my baby sister. Right after they have Al's, my baby brother, and then there's Paige, then Stacy. And Paige is the scary, oh my goodness, if there's a noise, she's running in another direction. But she wants to know, she really wants to know, but she's one that we're going to have a good time when she comes, when you see her in the investigation. I'll try to keep her in the room as much as I can, because she's definitely one that, she's also a teacher, that seems kids and people tend to go to her also. So that's basically our group. And also Jennifer White, I want to tell you about. Jen was worked with me at Nicholls State University. When I worked there, I was educational coordinator there, testing coordinator. And Jennifer was an advisor there. And we got together because she actually saw a Civil War soldier in one of the halls. And it amazed me because it's very, to see an apparition at Nicholls State University. Nicholls State University, yes, I'm going to say it, is extremely haunted. And that's why I put my classes out there, because we investigated. You can ask anybody who went there. They have EVPs, they have pictures, we have video. It is just, especially the janitors can tell you lots and lots of stories. So it's definitely all, and it's on the Bayou, by Lafourche. So it's got a lot of history also, Civil War history. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk about too, because there seems to be a trend with the 1860s Civil War plantations. And Jim Bowie was a big name. He had property all up and down here. And a lot of our plantations, that's what the property was on, the Jim Bowie property that he sold to different people around here. So it's got an amazing history, and this is where it's happening at. And I think, we bring out the spirits, all of us together as a group. One of our investigations is in Berg, Louisiana. Again, close to the water area by Terrebonne. My client called me and she told me that she was experiencing a feeling of somebody following her down her hallway. And she also mentioned that her daughter was having bad nightmares. She mentioned that she just had this feeling that someone's there. She did also say that someone who went to her house mentioned that there was some sort of male figure in the house. So she wanted to find out. Well, she didn't. It was one of those things. So we wanted to give a confirmation, or she wanted to know if she was just being silly, or what was going on. So we wanted to make sure we did some confirmation on that. What I found out is we always do a historical on the location, on the area. We found out that in the 1860s, there was a settlement there, a French settlement, and there possibly could have been a fort in that area. They also, this area along that stretch is called Prestique Isle, which is a long area stretch where they have Bayou on one side and Bayou on the other side. They have the Montague area, and then they have the Bayou Terrebonne. So it's kind of like it's separate. To get onto it, you need to get on bridges to get to both sides, or you cut off. So it's also very, very high ground. So we found out they kept anything worth value, they kept on that property. Anything cattle, anything precious to them, they made sure was there, because during hurricanes, whatever, that was the high ground. And still more French culture, but Spanish started moving in. But again, that French was always there. So along all that area, there's a lot of presence of this old, either Indians also were present, old Civil War time during the 1860s. Again, there were some battles fought here. There were some people from different denominations here. So we've got a lot of spiritual energy, what I call spiritual energy, entities. In the backwoods, she felt a heavy presence. She said she just felt like that was just, every time she goes in the backyard, there's something there. She said there's something there. She says, I don't go too far, especially into the woods, because she says, I just feel something's there. So I was curious, we were all curious to see what was there. When we got there, the minute Joey and I stepped foot in that doorway, the frisons just came, I mean like double fold. And I'm gonna let you know right now, Joey does not feel frisons. I've been with him for 15 years. He does not feel frisons. He felt them. He got me, says, oh my goodness, Callie, look at this. And I'm like, oh yeah, Joey, it's on, it's on. We knew we were gonna find something. We knew something was there. So we went on in, we set up everything, all our equipment. We found a lot of presences. There's not just one entity, but several entities. We have female voices, we have a child voice, we have male voices. The EMF we have on record on our video showing it going off like crazy in the hallway, exactly where she said that entity would follow her. So it's extremely strong, and I'm talking not green, it was going to red. Now, when we went in there, it was green. Green, there was no red, no lighting up of red. So this is another form of proof that something was going on there. Because when we first got there, I think a lot of times we don't see anything because they don't know who we are. They're afraid of us. We have to put them at ease. We have to let them know we're not there to harm them or hurt them. We're there to communicate with them, to see if they need help, to see if we can move them on, to see what they need, and to make sure that there's nothing harmful or hurtful there. One of the first EVPs I got, I had put the recorder down in the child's room. And nobody was even in there at the time. We were in another room. Nobody was talking. You couldn't hear anything. And then all of a sudden you hear, get out. And of course it's in a rasp voice. And remember, we hadn't even gotten a chance to talk to them yet. So you see how they might want us to go. They're afraid. They don't want anybody to interfere with what's going on with them. So that was one of our first EVPs. So I was like, wow. After I heard that, I was like, okay. So we started to set their mind at ease. Joey would let them know, we're not here to hurt you or harm you. The same thing, we kept making sure they understood that message. We're not here to hurt you.
A lot of times our spirits, they can't move on until they know that their loved ones actually know that you're doing okay and that you're fine. Is that the kind of message you want them to know, is that you're doing fine?
There's a wooded area in the back. Is there something back there that belonged to you?
As questions are asked to the spirits, notice the orbs around Joey. This particular orb gravitates to Joey, where it noticeably circles, then disappears behind his head, then reappears, then flies
Maybe you
off.
can make a sound in here, like bang on the walls. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but usually when I finish, it usually involves 2 more knocks, okay? Here we go.
Now Joey tries his knock response to the spirit, which appears to call in the orbs.
I'm gonna try it one time again. I apologize if we can't hear you, but I'll give it a shot again, okay? Maybe our tape recorders will pick up the sound, but I'm gonna try it one more time, okay? And then you bang real loud for us, okay?
And I didn't mention, but Joey has relatives there that we have gone several times to investigate their home, and they've got spiritual entries. That whole area has spiritual entities. So we're definitely going to be doing some more investigation work in more houses there. We've done actually 2 others there, and like I said, it's very highly active in that area. So I'm looking forward to more investigations there.